So, what is this universe we're trying to create?
I guess it's related to bringing back kind of a nostalgic digital era and speak like through that language, by touching some of your memories that you have. Depends from your generation, of course, but like I grew up in an environment where phones were coming out, like cell phones, and they were like really defining your style in a way. They were not so plain, they were not all looking the same. And it's normal because you could like focus on more details of the phone. You have the buttons, you have like you can get the shape you want. It can look like a stone, it can look like you know and since that thing also is related a lot like to the Japanese aesthetic. Even if you think about like a Tamagotchi, is not actually a phone, but it's something like from the era that you can interact with. And I remember that people were trading like screensavers. Some of them were also like sexy looking, a bit of trashy, but all pixel art. And that was fun. People were giving like a lot of importance to things that of course now are like, you know, nothing. Who knows? Like the thing is like those stuff are just in those phones. Those are not on the internet. And I thought about this, and I said, why don't we bring back this idea and see old cell phones on new cell phones, And of course, it's a 2D product, mine. I don't work with 3D and everything, but I guess it works since this image generation, you have, in this case, different things. So you have the background, you have like the screensaver, you have like the style of phone. Some phones have no colors, some of them they do. And yeah, the universe, is like having like little characters,
like the ones that are over our faces now.
Exactly. I mean, these are lucky charms.
Or keychains for the phones.
Exactly. And it's all, I don't know, these are pretty instinctive drawings that I used to do anyway. I don't really used to plan it so much in those terms, I feel like.
So it's like improvised in that way,
it's
like kind
improvised.
of loose
Yeah.
universe that we made, like he made fast. But yeah, we're stoked about it. I mean, we want to keep going. And even today we were talking about, what was it? We were talking about like actually trying to make a 3D object of the phones, like the phone bases, like that they could be sort of like like figurines, sort of, right?
Yeah, because
collectible figurines.
Exactly. You can collect two things, the phones and they are gonna be like all taken from the main collection, which is our character, Burner and Sidekick and Flipper and whatever. And so you could actually also collect some of the screensavers and you can replace it. So I don't know, something like that.
Oh yeah, do you know what you mean?
The screensavers on the Dropicall phones?
Like, oh yeah, each phone has multiple screen images. So if we were going to make like actual physical collectible Dropicall phones, we would make it so on the physical collectible thing that we want to, this is just our idea today, you would be able to change the screen image on it, like put in different screens.
Oh, that's boss. Nice. Maybe you could connect with the people that are doing the computers. You know what I'm talking about?
Toshibas?
The Tojis, that's what it is. Yeah.
Are they actually making real ones?
And well, I've read on Twitter that there's like talk of one person was talking about like a bounty for doing Urbit overlay, like that looks like the Toji, and I thought that was pretty boss. Maybe you could do like an Urbit cell phone version.
Man, I have Urbit. I have an Urbit Planet that I got, but I haven't really checked it out that much. Are you on there?
Learning slowly, interested in it. I like the decentralized stuff
In general.
in general. Oh yeah, yeah. The social media side is very appealing to me, and I like the
It's like the early internet, the anonymous
yeah,
thing.
yeah, totally. Would you gentlemen care to tell me more about yourself and introduce yourselves individually? Tell everybody who you are and what it is that you're working on specifically.
Well, I'm the person that does MEZZANOTTE. So I'm trying to release NFT collections and work with artists like Good News for Bad Guys here who drew the Dropicall collection. And I guess, I'm promoting it and trying to get it out there, and also working with the artists about what we think works and what we think doesn't work. And it's like a whole thing. I mean, so that's my role in it. And then you want to go, and I'm from New Jersey. I'm an American, but I live in Greece. And I just always have been into illustration and comic books, like on and off, like in art too. But like, I guess what I'm more interested in is finding people that I like their illustrations. And it's like less of sort of a contemporary art thing. It is obviously, but it's like it's a different world. It's more like a comics world where you're making sort of objects or books or little zines or graphic novels and stuff. I like that world. So yeah, and it's cool that it can like how it can interact with these NFT collections and this sort of like randomized profile pic shit stuff. You want to go?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the thing, if I can link to that, is the idea of these products that you're talking about, it's related to find a universe inside the product. That's the point. And if you start to read a comic series, you find a universe in it. You start to, I don't know, read like a series of mangas, you'll get into completely. And it's easy like to use it, of course, so it's not something that it's that conceptual in a way, if you want to say, but it works in that way. It works in showing you a universe that just one person can create. And this is awesome. I guess I'm an illustrator and comic artist, so what I can say is that I use a lot of fantasy to create something that it's not here, it's not real, something that it's not real at all. So in Italy, like if you're a creative and you believe in write stories or drawing them or whatever, you always stuck on Fellini, that he says that the reality is cheap, it's like la realtà è scadente, which means like that's why I make movies, because reality is cheap. And that's why I don't know, my brain feels like that needs to be used in that way, to create characters and create like dialogues that, I don't know, they're just in your brain. And I do that with comics. I just like finished one of my personal comic that I wrote, just the first part of it. And it's about relationship. It's about like addictions. It's about, these things. And these things are.
Which one is this about? Which one is
It's Umido. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a comic that will be out on.
You should show
show
the speed biscuits if you can hold it up. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
It's behind you to the right. Just go really fast.
Okay.
Just show me the speed biscuits.
This is this comic that
it's a rape story. Yeah.
He wrote recently, right?
Yeah, it came out like in last November. Yeah. You can check the page. It's called Bonus Duo. It's just a project I do with another person. Yeah, there it is. It's about rape partying during pandemics. It's like, I don't know, in where we live, we used to like and go to club a lot. So there were no parties during pandemic and during the lockdown. So we just like, oh, let's write a story about it, because like we really can't stand anymore. You know, we just like dance in the house, nothing else. Okay, it's pretty cool because you know, like you listen to your music and everything, and but it's not like the same. There's no people around you. It's just you and another person, or 3 or 4. It's different.
I guess
Well, yeah, we created like these 2 characters, and there are these 2 girls. One girl is called Scruff, and the other girl is X girl. Yeah, and they meet like a bunch of people. Like they take drugs. Yeah, that's what they do. We just teamed out with a DJ that we have where we live, and he just like did a playlist. We printed inside, so you can listen to the playlist while you're
where is
reading
it?
the
Where is
comic.
it? Where is it?
Yeah, it's in this part. Like, yeah, it's here.
Oh, okay.
Nice. I love to hear the growing depth of the universe as you say it. It's cool that there's you know, all these different touch points that you have going.
Well, we're trying. Yeah. Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Go for it.
No. Keep going.
Well, I love the style, and I do have to say that you know, adding layers to the experience is engrossing for me. I'm super interested in that sort of thing, and I was very interested to learn more about the project. I get a kick out of the Discord. Y'all are like very friendly, and they're like the phones themselves are like just delightful. I like that there's a pizza trait that gets me every time.
I like that one too. Yeah. It's cool. I'm a pizza fan.
Yeah.
do you all one thing that interested me was, as you said earlier, Dropicall, or wait, did you say Dropicall? What did you say that?
Well, I don't know. My language, which is Italian, it's really playful in a way, because you can really play with the sounds, and you can say something and give another sound and mean something else. It's pretty crazy. But like Dropicall brings me back like to a thing that I imagine it was Dropic, you know. And then I said, okay, let me use this thing of the cell phones, you know. And then I just like mix the 2 things, and I add call in the word, and there's also the drop thing, you know, so dropping an NFT or something, and the tropicals also. So it's 3 things in the same word or something. Yeah. And I like
That's
that.
good.
I think of it like a dropped call, like you lost the call. The call fell through.
Also, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and I think I felt that on the first couple days of your launch. You had pushed it back a couple times. What was that like as creators? Was that like a whole mess dealing with the Discord as well as just trying to launch a product?
I mean, it was freaking nuts because the developer he did a good job eventually, but like he just was really not communicative, and we've never met that person. And I was talking to him through Discord. I didn't have his number or anything. So the day of the first launch, he just fell asleep for 6 hours and then missed the whole launch, then apologized, and then said, like, let's do it tomorrow. Then the next day on Friday, I'm about to like publish the site, you know, and we're waiting, and like it just seemed really rushed. But also we didn't know any better. We thought it was fine. I had no idea because I'd never worked with a Solidity developer before. I've never done this before. So at the last minute, his boss, the Charlotte Fang character or whatever, not really his boss, but like his coworker or something, wrote me and was like, we need to push it to Monday from Friday. And I was like super bummed. Like it really bummed me out, and the artist was bummed. But at the same time, I don't think the problem was the delayed launches. I think the real problem was when we actually did launch on the Monday, a lot of the transactions didn't get through because the gas in the contract was being the suggested gas price was lower than what it should have been. So the transactions were failing.
Oh.
So that didn't get resolved until an hour into the launch. So the beginning of the launch, there was a lot of purchases that didn't go through, and the people got discouraged and didn't want to do it. They got annoyed, and it was kind of a mess. It was a little sloppy, but I mean, it was fixed after an hour, and it's been fine since then. It's really hard to keep momentum when you have this momentum that's pushing a lot. So after the launch, I took some time to chill, but now I'm ready. I mean, we're here together talking about what we can do. And like, for me, it's really about not like grabbing people's attention and not like getting it to mint out. Like, of course that would be nice, but like, for me, it's more about like, people seem really into the artwork, and I can tell from the Twitter spaces that we've done and from talking to people in the community. And I just want to keep it going and like have it be this thing, like, you know what I mean? That is, it's not really related to the price of it or something. It's more just like the artwork. That's like what I'm more about, to be honest.
Yeah.
In general, we're both more about that. And like, so it's cool because, you know, I was posting this, the tweet that I posted where I was trying to be like, we want to keep this going. Like, if you like, you know, we want to keep this thing alive. And I sort of was like shilling very openly. And like the guy called me out, and I got some like flack from this tweet. And it was funny because I don't care, because what I think is weird about this world is that people are trying to sell you things, but they're not supposed to try to sell them to you. And that's weird to me, because it's like, what's the difference really? You know what I mean? Like, why do you have to maintain this like weird fakeness of, I'm not selling you anything or something like that? I don't know. Like, you can be open about things and it's fine. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Word. Yeah. I'm glad you're talking about it, because it was such a weird interaction. Is like, I don't know where that came from. And usually it seems like it's fine to show on Twitter like in that way. And maybe that dude made it into like, maybe something the algorithm had done, you know, like sent your art side of things to that crypto side of thing, or like, I don't even know. But
Oh,
like,
you mean like those people that want to just make money from it and trade it, and they're like, you fucked me over or something? Because
yeah, who knows?
didn't mint out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I forget about that world of it, to be honest. But I know that world. I know. We were just talking about this the other day. Yeah, for sure. It's just like, I don't care. I'm used to it. It's like, you can come at me with whatever. It's like, no, we're not going to stop doing this.
Yeah. And so let's actually take that as a point to proceed upon, because I wanted to ask you, and as you said, it's just the beginning. In the chat and some of your tweets, it's like you said that Dropicall is almost like a ticket, I'd say, to the future of sort of your, you know, developments and involvements. And
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear what the vision is there. And
Oh, I mean, well, we just have some. I have projects planned with other artists and collections, and like, they're all like their own immersive universes, you know. And there's all going to be different things that happen with them. Like, I mean, for Dropicall, we're trying to make like, I think this streaming thing is cool, and we're probably going to keep doing this. We're going to stream the artist drawing tomorrow and the next day on Easter and on Monday at night, here at night, but for you, it's probably the afternoon. But, and I mean, like, we want to develop more of, I don't know how to say this without, yeah, the future is cool. There's just going to be a lot of cool stuff, because like the people that I want to work with are not really like typical NFT people. There are people that are just fine to draw like an illustration book and have it printed on paper and stuff. So I'm more excited about, I mean, the next project we're doing is from this French woman, and it's a little anime influenced, and like she has like a very Japanese aesthetic, and she already has a following on Twitter of people that like her artwork, and she sells books and stuff. And I'm curious to see how it will be perceived, because like she's really like what's it called, knowledgeable of a lot of things that I feel like the people that are fans of like Milady or these other NFT projects like would be cool, would really like it. But the idea for this project, the next project, White Hearts, like the dream is to be able to make this sort of like not role playing, but like these kind of video games where there's like a storyline and it's like there's not so much playing it. It's like the characters are in this like video game, like use the profits of the mint to like actually make like a indie game with the characters from the NFT.
Ooh,
But I
cool.
mean, that would be the future of that. That's like a really lofty idea. But for Dropicall, if we mint out, we're going to print a risograph book and we're going to send it to anyone that wants it, basically for free. Like it's part of the thing. And like what we're doing what we're doing even sooner is like the artist has all these different drawings and prints that he's done, and we're going to give those out as free NFTs to all the holders next week.
Way cool.
So that's what we're working on too, because we want it to be more about like the artwork and stuff, and have it to be this, it not just specifically about the phones or whatever. However, it is cool though to have it just be specifically about the phones. I mean, my thing, like, I want to try to figure out someone that can kind of code us something that can be like, we have this like weird text network within Discord or something, where it's like, I mean, you can do it where you have, if you hold the Dropicall, you can get into a certain server where you can talk and it's like a weird chat. I mean, that's already the way it is set up, but like, I want to go further with that. Like this one guy recently randomly made us a bot, a phone bot, the Flipper bot that you can talk DM with. I don't know if you use that or try to do that. And I want to go further along with that. I mean, yeah, just like make it, make it, I don't know. Do you use like the utility of other NFTs and stuff? I don't know. I don't know what your shit is.
Yeah,
like.
I'm pretty deep in the whole thing. I tell you what, I would love to swipe right on a couple hedgies on a Dropicall phone. And
What do you mean hedgies?
hedgies is an NFT dating app with hedgehog avatars.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Whoa.
It's quite something. It's pretty
So
cool.
it's an anonymous dating app.
Yep. Yeah.
And is it actually like a phone app, or is it like a website or a Discord or something?
It's just like a website, and they have Web3 sign-on. It's really fun. And it like, I think they have a pretty ambitious roadmap too. They'll send you a link, maybe post interview and go dig it up. What's Mezzanotte?
It means Italian. It means midnight in Italian. It means Italian. It means midnight in Italian. It's just something that I like. I don't know where this word came from to me, but it's like the name of a lot of like restaurants around the world, like in America, like in an Italian neighborhood or like anywhere. And I think I just saw this and I liked the word and I wrote it down, like certain words I save or something. And like, I feel like crypto like is like very midnight, like people up all night in their house alone and they're buying NFTs at midnight. And I like want us to be like this weird MTV 2 like late night that people find and they're like, what the fuck is this? This is weird. This is weirder than the other ones. Like what? So it's like this midnight like find. That's what I think of it as in this way.
Fantastic. Yeah, it is weirder than many and most, I believe.
Like there's like this guy that I'm friends with that I haven't talked to in a while. He saw that one of my avatars was a Milady maker, and he was like, what's up with Milady? Like, why do you have that as your avatar? And I was like, oh, I'm into like NFTs, like, and I showed him Dropicall and stuff, and he was like, whoa, I've seen this. Like, I had no idea this was you. Like, it was this weird thing. And then I was like, yeah, he's like, you really went weird with it. Like, you went to the weird part of it. And I was like, I guess so. But I mean, yeah, of course, that's the cool shit. I mean, I think so personally.
Agree.
If people
Wholeheartedly.
are gonna buy JPEGs, it might as well be weird. I don't know, but
Yeah. So good news for bad guys. Would you like to tell me about your name? I'm curious about that.
How did it comes out from album from Modest Mouse that it says good news for people who loves bad news. And I don't know, I really stuck on that because I don't know, I feel that I'm kind of a positive person, you know. I really, I don't know, feel positive since I'm having fun with what I'm doing. So it's, I don't know, probably period of my life, but it's been like this since a while right now, and I'm going with this flow, and I guess it's kind of working. And the name it's about that. I mean, like, it's, yeah, good news for bad guys, like people that used to struggle, you know, and sometimes they have nice day, and I don't know, you just want to have that vibe. Yeah, nothing else. It's pretty simple in a way, but it sounds nice in my ears, and that's all. It's interesting because like I've I've meant like to be like one that draws for good news for bad guys, since it's still me, of course, no one else. But like, you know, like I don't want to relate like my face to what I do. Um and and this is interesting because for me it's a way like to focus more on the art and what you do, so your audience can focus more on that. And you know, they don't get a lot of people get affected, unfortunately, from how you look, from how you wear, you know, and all this kind of stuff. Sometimes they're happy to see you because, you know, they're happy to see someone that it reflects exactly what he does. And probably I am like that. But the thing is, I don't know, I just have fun by covering my face. My kind of heroes are have a mask most of the time. I mean, not heroes, but like people that I like to, artists that I like to. Daft Punk is the most mainstream one, but it's one of it.
That's true. Yeah, it's a big one.
And but there's, you know, like if you think about it, like they're kind of genius thinking, you know, it's like the idea of reaching every audience in the end by being yourself and keep your personality. It's not something easy that you can do. You gotta work a lot for that. You gotta believe a lot in your taste and what you do, like that. Also, a lot of people can like it, you know, and they made it. They made it, definitely. And so I don't know. That's an example.
Yeah. Would you tell me how your tastes contributed to the creative process and what the development of the phones was like over the past well, how long have you been working on it?
I'm. I don't know. This kind of things. I'll be honest. It like it's something that you gotta plan before, you know. So it's more about like you make like a scheme of like the phones that you want. Because I used to follow this phone page, cell phones page on Instagram, and it's called Old Cell Phones. He's a pretty nice guy, and like he posts phones, nothing else.
Yeah.
And it's full of like good ones and crazy designs, you know. And I got inspired from that, and I thought I want to do something like you know, a group of different generations of cell phones. And then I came up with some of the ideas on some of the designs. But then with Matt, we thought that we could also give names and create characters with it, you know. So that's why we have Liquido and all his friends. And that's the reason why then we wrote some stories about their lives too, because you know you want to use a tool or an image anyway to use to say something,
Tell a story.
tell a story.
The story for me is like pretty simple. Like it's not, it might not be exactly like this, but the story for me is that there's the iPhone, and like that took over all these like unique sort of different phones, and all these other phones are stuck at the used cell phone store at the mall, and they're like, how do we like, are we worthless now? Are we just totally worthless? Are we just going to be trash? Or like, do people still like want to use us? And the truth is like, then they become NFTs and people want them again. because they're Dropicall NFTs. So I mean, that's the story. That's how it happens. And like that's sort of like a weird meta thing where it's like literally these images, these phones were based off of actual phone designs that were made in the 90s and the early 2000s. So we are like keeping the dream alive for the people that design those phones in some ways, because we're like making like artwork that's completely based off of it and related to it. So that's interesting to me, because you're preserving technology and like this, you're preserving history and this technology, and you're sort of reawakening like people's minds when they see this. They're like, oh yeah, I remember, like I had a phone and I had all these memories with this phone and I texted that person on this phone. And it's just crazy to me how much phones mean stuff to people. Like our lives are freaking phones, literally. Weird. It's like too much. Like that's a whole other thing, but whatever. Yeah.
What is the whole other thing?
I mean that like that's the whole other thing. Well, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know how to even go. Whoa, I don't even know how to go into this, but I know that you're just on your phone all the time looking at it. It's like part of your hand. It's like part of your body, and like you're communicating with people, and like you're being like manipulated and brainwashed by corporations and the news, and you're talking to your friends and you're getting emotional and you're living your life on your phone. Right?
Absolutely.
A lot of people are. I mean, most people do, I think now. I certainly do.
Yeah, it is like a weird form of prosthesis.
Yeah, but it's also like just sort of like it's also even though it's the real life, you're interacting with real people and blah blah blah. I guess that's what you're doing. It's still like The Sims or some virtual world. It's still like its own metaverse, this iPhone world, because when you communicate with people over text and stuff, it's so different than like talking like this in person, not in person, but like talking live on the phone. You hear the way they're expressing things, and it's just so different. Like even communicating by phones, it's its own metaverse in a way. You have your phone avatar, you have your phone shit, your social media icon. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, totally. And one thing that I like about it is what you mentioned is almost like that there's like this inbuilt nostalgia into the design of the project, and then also like the act of using a phone is this thing that kind of like almost like extends the point, it extends the moment into eternity. And I get that vibe from this project of like kind of like the halls of forever. Was there any stylistic guide that you had for like the rest of the imagery beyond the phones, like including the little fobs and stuff? Like you mentioned the images covering your faces. Can you tell us about that side of things too, in the backgrounds? I'm curious about the backgrounds because they look really cool.
Other stuff, yeah, the backgrounds.
All the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things are artworks that I never released.
They're what?
There are artworks that I never released. I never shown to anyone.
Oh, okay.
They were done like in past years, and this will still relate to like there are some of, I don't know if you can see that, but there are some of like blue backgrounds where there are like those devices. That one was an MP3. I also made a research about that, and it was related to how we were selecting music and how we were into like, downloading pirate material as music. And I was really into that. I was literally into that. And I was sharing like USB keys with my friends because we were listening to a lot of music. And when I was going to school, like, we were just switching. And it was great because you were going home and you're spending all the night before the day after because you were in the bus, and then you just want to listen to some music. And I mean, that's me. I just wanted to listen to some music and don't talk to anyone out of the school most of the time. And I was selecting so like, I don't know, with a lot of passion and saying on, yeah, this music tomorrow because, I just have 5 minutes about it. And that was my first degree. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Like, I don't know, carrying your music where you want and little world. And yeah. That's the thing. And there are taken from some hiking trips that I do, and you can see from the backgrounds, and they're not like
It's back on?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what just happened. You got all robot-y and then everything kind of got disconnected.
It's all good.
Let's see.
We don't have to go that much further. This is like, what do you want to do?
Well, yeah, let's wrap